It's pretty funny to me that "be the change you wish to see in the world" has become kind of a cliche that you will see like sold right next to "live, laugh, love" signs at Home Goods, because the roots of that quote are actually very, very radical. Hi, my name is Matt Hirschberger. I write about facing a bleak world with hope, curiosity, and imagination. If that sounds like your thing, give me a follow. So first of all, like most quotes on the internet, Gandhi, who that quote is normally attributed to, never actually said that. It appears to have come from an educator in the 1970s, but he did say something similar. Gandhi wrote, "If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him." That's not as catchy as "be the change you want to see in the world," but Gandhi's descendants said that the "be the change" quote sounds very similar to stuff that he frequently said. So even though it's kind of a fib to retroactively graft that quote onto Gandhi, it is very much in keeping with what he believed, and what he believed was fairly radical. Gandhi was very heavily influenced by Henry David Thoreau and Leo Tolstoy, who were both very influential anarchist thinkers in the late 19th and early 20th century. Anarchists at that time were engaged in this really, really intense debate with the Marxists about how a revolution should be conducted. And the Marxists said, well, you need to have a totalitarian vanguard at the front of your revolution to make sure that everything works. And anarchists said, revolution won by totalitarian means will end up sliding into totalitarianism, which turned out to be completely true. The utopia that anarchists wanted to build wasn't on the other side of some hypothetical revolution. It was something that you could build here and now in yourself and in your relationships with people. A very good description of this would be the change you wish to see in the world. What the anarchists called it, because they're not great at coining catchy names, was prefigurative politics. Now, a lot of radical groups from Occupy to the Zapatistas have engaged in prefigurative politics as a way of trying to model the world that they want to build in the future right here and now. But I think that the most interesting example of prefigurative politics in action is the Black Panthers' Free Breakfast for Children program. The Black Panthers believed that education was essential for black liberation, and one of the things that they did is they started a community school, but they realized that kids weren't going to learn particularly well if they were hungry in the morning. The program was a huge success, and by the end of the first year, it was feeding 10,000 children a day, and there were over 30 branches of the free breakfast program set up across the country. The program was also hugely popular among the public. White liberals in particular loved it. And J. Edgar Hoover, the head of the FBI at the time, was really, really scared that this was going to end up legitimizing the Black Panthers. So he did his best to try and discredit it and run police raids against the free breakfast program, claiming that it was an indoctrination center for youth, even though all it was really doing was feeding children. The FBI was eventually successful in dismantling the leadership of the Black Panthers, in part because they actually assassinated some of the leaders. But the Free Breakfast for Children program lived on, and it was so embarrassing to local, state, and federal governments that it ended up pushing massive child hunger programs through the legislature, which had not existed before. That's why this is a perfect example of prefigurative politics. The Black Panthers saw something that was needed, children needing to be fed in the morning, and they set up a program not only without the support of the state, but with the active antagonism of the state. And because they were feeding kids, which is such a completely uncontroversial thing, it ended up being wildly popular, and there are now kids today who are not hungry in the morning because of the Black Panthers. Now, while prefigurative politics were very much a part of Gandhi's program, he never actually said, "be the change you wish to see in the world," and it has gotten watered down by a lot of the people that use it. So if you're looking for something else, I suggest this quote by Ursula K. Le Guin from her book, The Dispossessed. "You cannot buy the revolution, you cannot make the revolution, you can only be the revolution. It is in your spirit, or it is nowhere."